morning, squad. Welcome back to MadMizzy Sports Morning Show, the number one spot for everything sports talk, sports news, sports debate in the morning. Happy Friday. Y'all already know the vibes when y'all see the Niners gear. I don't know if I was giving y'all the Niners gear the past few Friday episodes, but y'all know what it is when I come out with the Niners gear. It got to be Friday, and we coming up to the weekend. We got a beautiful rundown today. Starting it off, recapping Thursday night football of P.J. Walker leading the Carolina Panthers in a 25-15 win over the Atlanta Falcons. Got to speak on that. I'm going to continue my midterm review of the NFL season so far, giving y'all my most disappointing division, my surprise division, my disappointing team, my surprise team, and then my Super Bowl predictions halfway through the NFL season. Then I'm going to touch on the Michigan-Nebraska game. Then I got to end it off with my Niners hosting the Chargers on Sunday Night Football, and what do I expect from that game. Let's get into it, gang. So before we start off episode 51, I want to come out here and keep Brittany Griner's name alive. It is approaching 8 months that Brittany Griner has been unjustly detained in Russia for containing cannabis wax as she was going through the Russian airports. She was detained on February 17th. It is now November 11th. She has been expeditiously moved to a Russian penal colony where it is severely harsher than where she's been held in a Moscow jail. So want to keep Brittany Griner's name alive. We are still here with you. We are still supporting you. We still have your back. We're going to continue to fight till you get back home, Brittany. Prayers with you. Let's move on though. Thursday night football recap of the Atlanta Falcons at the Carolina Panthers. And I predicted it being Atlanta winning 26-16 over the Carolina Panthers. It ended up being the Carolina Panthers winning 25-15 over the Atlanta Falcons. I dang near called the exact score of the game, just got the winners wrong. And what I took from that game was just the Carolina Panthers came out in the way that I expected the Atlanta Falcons to come out with Cordero Patterson and Algier just running the ball down the Carolina Panthers' throat. But they didn't. They came out throwing the ball and trying to get the ball to Kyle Pitts and Drake London, and they couldn't do that. And the Carolina Panthers came out and just ran the ball straight down the Atlanta Falcons' throat, giving Deontay Foreman for 31 carries, 130 yards on the ground. That's just unstoppable, just pounding them all game. The weather, I believe, had a little bit to play a part in that, but you also had just Marcus Mariota out there trying to do too much, and I felt like he put his team in a bad position to try to win those games. So yeah, that's what I took from it. It was just Marcus Mariota pressing too much and bad weather, inclement weather with the rain coming down super hard, and then the Carolina Panthers coming out and being more physical than the Atlanta Falcons and just pounding them with Deontay Foreman. So that's what I took from that game. And what are the odds of the Carolina Panthers being the winner of the NFC South? I mean, it all depends on how the Tampa Bay Bucks look, because I don't see the Carolina Panthers going anywhere. I feel as though they're going to compete for the entire rest of the season as long as P.J. Walker is out there and they can stay in the game. But I'm gonna give them about a 30% chance. I get the Bucks about a 50-60% chance, and then you get the other 10% to the Atlanta Falcons, or you want to split it with the Atlanta Falcons and the New Orleans Saints. But I'm going to still lean towards the Tampa Bay Bucks right now. Let's move on to continue my midterm review of the NFL season so far. And what is the most disappointing division so far in the NFL? Do we even have to bring it up? Yes, we do, because I brought it up. So I'm going to answer it. To me, it's the AFC West. When you came into this season, a lot of people were saying this is the best division that we've ever seen in football. When you think about the top four teams, when you think about the four teams all having top echelon, you know what I'm saying, tier one quarterbacks, or thought to be tier one quarterbacks, when you think about Derek Carr, Russell Wilson, Justin Herbert, Patrick Mahomes, all doing a thing. And then you look at the Broncos and the Raiders being combined so far through the midway point of the season at 5-11, at the bottom of just not their division but the conference. To me, it's clear as day that they're the most disappointing division in football right now, looking at the Broncos and the Raiders as total disappointments as far as expectations go for this year. I don't believe anybody thought that the Raiders would have 2 wins at the midway point of the NFL season and the Broncos would have 3 wins at the midway point of the NFL season coming into this year. So yeah, you got Patrick Mahomes and Justin Herbert that's keeping the division afloat, but the Broncos and the Raiders are definitely weighing them down. So the most disappointing division to me by far in the NFL right now is the AFC West. Moving on, what's the most surprising division in the NFL right now? To me, it's the AFC East. You look at every team has a winning record. The worst team in the division right now is the New England Patriots at 5-4. You got the Miami Dolphins and the New York Jets at 6-3, and then you got the Buffalo Bills at 6-2. So to me, they are the most stacked division right now. They are the most surprising division right now. I don't think anybody would have came in predicting that the New York Jets would have been 6-3 at the midway point through 9 games of the NFL season so far. I don't think anybody would have even predicted that the Miami Dolphins would have been 6-3 through the midway point. So I want to give props to the Miami Dolphins and the New York Jets coming out and just being super competitive. Moving on, what's the most disappointing team in the NFL right now? The Oakland Raiders at 2-6, just absolutely putrid. 3 losses this year where they were leading by 17 points or more. That is the most in NFL history. They are historically garbage. So to me, when you can look at that falter and be like, well, the defense is folding, and then you can look at it like the offenses and keeping the game rolling. To me, they just do not play complementary football, or they play one half of complementary football and the next half they're just putrid. And then, like I said, why get rid of Rich Bisaccia when he was the interim head coach that led them to the playoffs last year, as they were going through all that turmoil last year? So to me, they just look like in disarray, cutting top first, second round, third picks left and right down there in Las Vegas. So to me, it's the Las Vegas Raiders. Just absolutely disappointing. The surprise team to me, the Miami Dolphins. I spoke on this a few seconds ago, and to me, it's the health and keeping Raheem Mostert healthy, keeping Tyreek Hill healthy, keeping Jalen Waddle healthy, keeping Tua Tagovailoa healthy to a certain extent. To me, it's just been the most impressive part when you think about Tua has been having injury issues throughout the entirety of the beginning of his career. So for him to go out there, he's only missed, I believe, 3 games this year. He's won all of the games that he's started and finished. So being 6-0 this year. So to me, he's an MVP candidate. Tyreek Hill's an MVP candidate. I took them over the New York Jets just because, to me, I didn't believe in Tua. So for him to come out there and ball, and I still think he has to go out there and prove it in the inclement weather, cold weather and all that. But what he's proven so far has just been utter surprise to me. So yeah, I'm gonna give it to the Miami Dolphins. Moving on though, what is my Super Bowl prediction so far through the midway point of the NFL season? To me, in the AFC, who's going to represent the AFC in the Super Bowl? I got to go with the Kansas City Chiefs. I can't bet against Patrick Mahomes and what they're building and what Big Red is going to scheme up, and then Eric Bieniemy. So I can't go against Andy Reid, Eric Bieniemy, and Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce. I can't go against those dudes. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm going to go with the Kansas City Chiefs representing the AFC right now. In the NFC, though, to me, I got to give props to the only undefeated team left in football. And I'm going to say the Philadelphia Eagles are going to represent the NFC in the Super Bowl right now at the midway point, as far as just what I see because of their complementary football. You think about Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown, Jalen Hurts, Miles Sanders, Dallas Goedert, the defense. You got still got Fletcher Cox. You got Robert Quinn, Brandon Graham. Then you got Gardner Johnson in the back, Darius Big Play Slay back there. They just are stacked to me. I love the way that they play complementary football. They run the ball. They play action. They hit big plays. They stop the run. They rush the passer. Man, they are a good football team, and to me, their formula travels. The only question is how is Jalen Hurts going to perform in the playoffs? We've seen how he performed against the Tampa Bay Bucks last year, going down to Tampa, but it's looking like he's going to have at least one home. Well, I mean, whoever wins that NFC East is probably going to be the number 1 seed in the NFL, in the NFC. Well, I don't know, because you got the Minnesota Vikings right there at 7-1, but to me, it's all about Jalen Hurts, and if he can continue to execute at this high level once the playoffs hits, which I don't see him skipping a beat once the playoffs hit, because what they're doing right now is just the same old Reed stuff now. Defenses may condense it or whatever the case may be, but to me, I'm a lean with the Kansas City Chiefs at the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Philadelphia Eagles in this year's Super Bowl right now through the midway point. That could change though. But before we get out of here, I'm gonna go back to my old format of Friday. But before we get out of here, I'm going to go back to my old Friday format of breaking down my Michigan Wolverines and my San Francisco 49ers games on their respective games Saturday and Sunday. The Michigan Wolverines are hosting the Nebraska Cornhuskers this Saturday. In this game, I see Michigan big. Nebraska's only 3-6 so far this year, allowing 182 yards on the ground this year, almost 183 yards on the ground this year. And my Michigan Wolverines are averaging 250 yards on the ground this year with the Heisman candidate Blake Corum. So I see us running away with it 45-13 in Michigan in the big house over the Nebraska Cornhuskers. My San Francisco 49ers are playing this Sunday night against the Los Angeles Chargers, hosting the Los Angeles Chargers at Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, California. And in this game, I see the same thing where my San Francisco 49ers are going to come out, just be more physical. Deebo Samuel coming back. Of course, we picked up Christian McCaffrey, and then Brandon Ayuk being out there. I just feel like we're just the more physical team. Trent Williams being out there, being healthy, and then a healthy Nick Bosa coming in there. We getting Al Shazier back, and then a lot of the defensive backs. I just want to give condolences and well wishes out to Jason Verrett, who tore his Achilles heel yesterday in his rehab process of recovering from a torn ACL. So just want to give well wishes and a quick recovery to Jason Verrett, man. But to end it off, I'm going to go with my San Francisco 49ers in this Sunday night football matchup against the Los Angeles Chargers. I'm going to go with us 31-17. The Chargers give up 145 yards on the ground. You know what my San Francisco 49ers like to do. We like to run the ball, so I see us controlling the game, keeping the ball away from Justin Herbert, getting a few turnovers on Justin Herbert, and negating Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa by running the ball. So, yeah, I'm going to go with my San Francisco 49ers 31-17, getting a huge game out of Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel, and Jimmy G playing just a clean game. So let me know what y'all think. This is MadMizzy Sports Morning Show, episode 51. What's y'all breakdown of the Thursday night football game of the Carolina Panthers beating the Atlanta Falcons 25-15 in Carolina? What's y'all most disappointed division so far? What's y'all surprised division so far? What's the most disappointing team so far? What's the most surprising team so far in the NFL through the midway point of the season? And then we're going to break down who do y'all got in Michigan hosting Nebraska in the big house. I mean, if you're not going with Michigan, I don't know what you're thinking. And then who do you got in the Sunday night football matchup of my San Francisco 49ers hosting the Los Angeles Chargers in Santa Clara, California? Y'all know what it is. Have a safe, beautiful, fun, adventurous weekend. I'll see y'all on Monday. This is MadMizzy Sports Morning Show. Like, comment, share, subscribe, listen, alert. MizzyWorld Entertainment. Gang.